Hey everybody, it's Dan Sfera, www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. This is where we discuss clinical trials in plain English. And I'm really happy when people out there interact with us and send us questions via Facebook or Twitter or whatever, LinkedIn even. Gotta admit, I gotta get back into LinkedIn. I used to be very active on it, and ever since I linked it to Twitter, I don't really check it that often, but I should because there's a lot of value in LinkedIn. Anyways, that's a whole different topic. This blog is about clinical trials, and I'm really happy when people send me questions. I received a question from someone on Facebook, and it's a very good question, which I'm sure a lot of people have. And see, this is another reason why I'm glad people interact with us through Facebook and email, however you want to interact with us and engage with us. It's very helpful because sometimes we don't know what kind of questions you have. And I mean, we do videos every day, so we can run out of topics. This one's a good one. The guy says, how can I be assured that I get a fair chance of getting the experimental drug as opposed to the placebo when there exists a real possibility that clinical testers are pulling strings to make sure that their friends or relatives are in the experimental treatment group? Thank you, anonymous asker of question. The answer to this is simple. Researchers are not allowed to enroll family or friends into studies. It's explicitly stated in the protocol. For each study, there's what's called a protocol, and within the protocol, there's what's called inclusion-exclusion criteria. Inclusion criteria, of course, means these lists of things must be fulfilled in order for the participant to be enrolled in the study. And the exclusion criteria means if any of these things on this list apply to the study participant, he may not be enrolled in the study. So one of the exclusion criteria for all clinical trials, at least every trial that I've seen, is will the researchers or the staff or anyone involved in the clinical trial be enrolling family or relatives or friends? And if that is the case, the study participant is not allowed to enroll. And you also have the IRB, which you can do a blog search on our blog, IRB. They monitor that closely. Before any site, before any research clinic is awarded any study, they have to answer these extensive questionnaires and extensive forms. They're like 20 pages long, some of them. And one of the questions they ask in every single one that I've seen, because I fill these out, is, are you planning on enrolling any family or friends or relatives of anyone involved in the study? And, you know, you can check yes or no, but if you check yes, they're going to make sure that the research clinic is taking all steps and all precautions to make sure that those people are not getting an unfair advantage. That's one way that researchers are prevented from pulling strings so that their friends or relatives or family members are given preferential treatments in research studies, is just to exclude them altogether. You're not allowed to be in a study if you're a friend or relative of a researcher. Now, there's another way to prevent this. Let's say someone does sneak through these criteria, and let's just say the researcher's kind of shady and he puts a relative in the study. He still cannot control who gets assigned the study drug and who gets assigned the placebo. It's random. It's just like going to a slot machine and pulling the little lever. I mean, it's random. What comes out, the outcome of that event is not based on the researcher. It's based on a computer that generates, randomly assigns whether the study participant will be receiving the study drug or the placebo. So even if a friend or relative does get into the study, which they shouldn't, but even if they do, everyone's given a fair shot because it's all done by computers. The researchers have no access to the outcomes of these computers spitting out these randomly assigned, groups. Either you get a study drug or the placebo. Completely random, and the researcher nor the staff nor even anyone else at the drug company have any control over these, and these are audited by the FDA. They make sure that it truly is random. So just like a slot machine, just like rolling a dice, there's no way to kind of cheat that system. So first of all, the relatives and friends and family members of the researchers or the research team do not get preferential treatment, and as a matter of fact, they're not even allowed to be enrolled in the clinical trials. Hope that helps. Hope this helps answer your question, sir, and keep them coming. We like to have these questions. www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thanks a lot.